How many more innocent people have to get robbed, stabbed, beaten, traumatized, or buried before this country finally admits that this problem is no longer just kids making mistakes? Every single time a minor commits a serious crime, the same pathetic excuse gets thrown around. Bata pa kasi. Juvenile pa kasi. Hindi pa alam ang ginagawa. No. Stop insulting the public with that lie. A child who can steal, stab, rob, assault, carry weapons, join gangs, terrorize innocent people, and destroy lives is not some clueless angel who doesn't know better. At some point, we need to stop romanticizing criminal behaviors just because the offender is young. Crime is crime. Violence is violence. And a victim's pain does not become smaller just because the person who caused it is a minor. And let's say the part that people keep dancing around. A lot of these children were not failed by society first. They were failed at home. Failed by parents who were too irresponsible, too absent, too careless, too lazy, or too weak to raise them properly. Because let's be honest, children do not magically become violent, lawless, and dangerous overnight. They become that way when they are raised without discipline, without boundaries, without fear of consequences, without values, without guidance, without parents who actually act like parents. If your child is out there robbing people, stabbing strangers, joining gangs, carrying knives, threatening innocent citizens, and acting like a menace to society, then somewhere along the line, you failed. You failed to discipline. You failed to guide. You failed to protect that child from becoming a danger to other people. And worse, you failed the public who now has to deal with the monster you helped create through your neglect. Let's stop pretending some parents are helpless victims in all of this. Some parents know exactly what their children is doing. They know their child is running with gangs. They know their child is stealing. They know their child is violent. They know their child is roaming the streets at ungodly hours, acting like they own the place. They know their child is already turning into a criminal. And what do? Nothing. No discipline. No intervention. No accountability. No effort to stop it. Just excuses, denial, and silence. Until somebody else's child ends up in a coffin. Then suddenly it becomes, pasensya na po. Mabait naman po yan. Napabayaan lang. Wala po kaming alam. Enough. If your child becomes a repeat offender, if your child is being used by syndicates, and you did nothing, if your child is out there victimizing innocent people while you turned a blind eye, then you should not be allowed to hide behind ignorance and act like you had no role in it. Because raising a child is not just feeding them, dressing them, or posting family pictures online to look respectable. Raising a child means teaching them right from wrong, teaching them discipline, teaching them limits, teaching them actions have consequences, teaching them that other people's lives matter. And if you failed so badly at that job that your child grows up believing they can hurt, rob, or kill people without consequence, then yes, you should also answer for that failure. So yes, I will say it loudly. Bring the age down for criminal liability in the Philippines for serious offenses. And while we are at it, hold negligent and irresponsible parents accountable too. Because our laws are being abused. Syndicates know it. Gangs know it. Criminals know it. They know minors can be used as shields because the law is too soft, too slow, and too afraid to act. That has to end. This is not about cruelty. This is not about hating children. This is about protecting innocent people from minors who already know exactly how to harm, terrorize, and destroy. And from parents who fail to stop them. The public is tired of the excuses, tired of the softness, tired of the fake sympathy reserved only for offenders, while victims are left traumatized, broken, or dead. Tired of seeing innocent Filipinos pay the price for bad parenting, weak laws, and a system that refuses to act until it's too late. So no, this conversation should not stop at juvenile offenders. It should also go straight to the homes that raised them. The question is, what kind of parent raises a child like that and then expects society to clean up the mess? Lower the age of criminal liability for serious crimes. Hold juvenile offenders accountable. Hold negligent parents accountable. And stop forcing innocent citizens to suffer because some adults failed to raise their children right and now want the rest of the country to pay for it. And let's be even more honest about something people are too scared to say. Not every parent of a juvenile offender is doing their best. Some of them are simply irresponsible adults who brought a children into this world without the maturity, discipline, or sense of responsibility to actually raise them. Some parents want the title of mother and father, but refuse the duty that comes with it. They want sympathy when their child gets arrested, but where was that concern when their child was already out there lying, stealing, roaming the streets, joining gangs, carrying weapons, and terrorizing other people? Where was that energy when the child was already showing signs of violence, disrespect, and criminal behavior? Because the truth is, some parents don't fail because they didn't know what to do. They fail because they did not care enough to do it. They tolerated bad behavior because it was easier. They ignored the warning signs because confrontation was inconvenient. They let the streets, barkada, gangs, social media, and criminal influences raise their children for them because actual parenting requires effort, discipline, and consistency. And some people simply refuse to do that work. And now when that same child grows into a violent offender, suddenly the public is expected to act shocked and compassionate? No. By then, the damage has already been done. The problem is no longer just a misguided child. The problem is also the home that allowed that child to grow up with no discipline, no moral direction, no accountability, and no respect for other people's lives. Because if your child can repeatedly hurt people, steal from people, threaten people, or destroy lives without even flinching, then somewhere in that home, something was deeply broken. Maybe there was no discipline. Maybe there was no supervision. Maybe there was no parent strong enough to say, enough. Or maybe the child learned violence, irresponsibility, and lawlessness from the very adults who were supposed to teach them better. And if you are reckless enough to bring a child into this world, but too lazy, too absent, too weak, or too irresponsible to raise that child properly, then society should stop treating you like a helpless victim and start calling you what you are. So again, bring the age down for criminal liability in the Philippines for serious offenses. That's all for now. Bye.